Hello, here you can see me flying in our drone the game in a recently released arena. And as you can see, we got great looking caves and overhangs. And also we have great performance on this. And we didn't even need to use LOD, so we have zero popping. And the reason why this is working so well is because I used an extension I'm working on for Mesh Combine Studio that is able to really give this great performance. So let me show you how we do this. So we are inside Unity in the editor. You can see how convincing this looks. And basically, if I would disable the rocks, and of course this is light map, so you can see issue here, but it's too smooth and the quality would be like it's a day and night difference. Even if you use a voxel terrain, which is actually compatible with this because you can always place rocks, it will still look too smooth. So for us to solve this, and now I will show the original rocks which are not light mapped, we use just real rock models. And I click on one and you can see just how our artist placed those. The whole issue that comes with this is that you go inside and there is just overlapping rocks, and this causes basically a massive overdraw and it's super bad for performance. So if I go here and I select overdraw, you can see the issue. And then we have another issue, is that if we go below the terrain, we have all these rocks sticking through which are never visible. So we need to solve this. And for that I made this extension of Mesh Combine Studio, which is able to remove geometry that is overlapping. Another issue with light mapping, which we use in our case, is that all these invisible rock triangles will waste a lot of light map texture space, which is like a huge waste and just a bad way of doing it. So let's remove the overlapping geometry. So I place the rocks inside Mesh Combine Studio, and let's search here. Let's remove this bound limitation and the mesh bounds. So if I go up here, you can see that how the rocks will be combined in cells. Let's do that. So multi-threading, and this already reduces the draw calls from almost 600 to only 66, and this will give a big performance improvement already, but still it does not solve our overdraw issue. So let's remove the overlapping triangles by clicking on this checkbox. Then I just need to put my rocks on a layer for selection. So I select it here, and then I need to choose a layer that is free to do this removal on. So let's disable the gizmos, and now let's combine and see what happens. So you can see that we removed 36% of the triangles already, and the overdraw became a lot less. So if I go to shade it, you can see what happened. I go here through rock, and hey, there's nothing inside like it should be. And this by itself will just run already 56% faster. And then of course with the reduced overdraw this gains even more performance. So the next step is to remove triangles below the terrain. So you can see here that's another huge waste. So these are on horizon sky space. Also I added the feature that like we use horizon here, which does not have colliders. So you can remove geometry below the terrain without colliders. So let's combine it again. And bam! Here you have it. we removed almost 70% of the initial triangles, which will run like 333% faster. And it looks really clean and like it should look. So if we go back to the overdraw, you can see just how much it changed. So if I enable original, like this is like little overdraw nightmare, where this is very good result. So basically Mesh Combine Studio allows us to run this arena on low-end hardware where we get very promising results because of this. And if we would use the original rocks, that would be bad for performance and also bad for light mapping. And another thing, GPU instancing can never beat this because we draw almost 70% less of the triangles. So there's no way to beat this with instancing. And also because instancing is already slightly slower than cell-based combining, and then with this reduction in geometry, it can never beat it. So that's it. Basically this extension will support LODs like Mesh Combine Studio itself. So the geometry removal will also work on LODs. We don't use it because we would use more light map space, and in our case we simply can go without. It still runs fast enough. But of course if you use a bigger terrain, then you might want to use LODs, and that will just work fine. So thanks a lot for watching, and I will make more tutorial videos about how Mesh Combine Studio works in depth when I will release this. Thank you.